I was asked to talk about localization or being local in architecture. I think that's a subject which is pretty important for us architects to discuss, especially in the COVID times. And I think after globalization, we have the influx of so many multinational companies in India supplying architecture products. And I think mostly after 90s, the whole building industry has changed and so many big players have come to India, and they are kind of ruling the building industry. So in the whole process, there's a whole craft sector which is not getting the relevant importance. So I would say yes, we have to open up the economy. We all live in a globalized world. We all have to open up communication, and ideas needs to exchange, because I don't think we can protect ideas in one place. It needs to travel. I think we all live in a globalized world, but at the same time we also need to protect the indigenous craft, the indigenous communities knowledge. I think that's the backbone of our knowledge system. And I feel architects have a lot to play in it. A lot of role architects need to play in this, especially in connection with crafts connected to architecture. Things like woodcraft, lime, oxide. I think all these crafts are closely connected to architecture, the way we do our buildings. So it is important that as architects we do something to protect them. Another thing is, like, even architecture students should be made aware of the local craft so that the craft communities also develop. Even if we protect a single craft, for example, the mural paintings in Guruvayur, once it's got protected, or once there was a center established to teach it, it's not just the mural paintings which got protected. It's okay, you have many people surviving on it, craftsmen working on it, artists traveling around to do works. So I think in the whole process you have many families, many people surviving in it, plus the art is getting protected. So I think architects so need to think how to protect the craft forms connected to architecture. Again, it's very important that we understand the nature around us, because again architecture is closely connected to the protection of the nature. If you see the kind of raw materials we use, sand, cement, stones, laterite, it's all very closely connected to nature. And if you see the building industry in Kerala for the past 3 or 4 decades, you can see how much of it has affected the nature here. So I think it's a very close relationship which the masters or the Tachans of the older years understood very well. So again, we need the colleges to teach students about our local climate. How much of influence does it have in our daily life? So that's a big area which needs to be part of every architecture syllabus. One is ecology, craft, climate science, history. I think these are things which we need to learn in architecture schools. I don't think once you pass out, you don't get much chance to learn all this. It has to be part of the education system in the schools. And I think especially we need to learn local craft, local history. We learn history, but we very often we don't learn the local history. So it's important that we learn the local history too. And I think being eco-friendly, we all talk of being eco-friendly, and I don't think there is any fixed permanent formula for it, or we can't say that okay, we have to use this material then it'll become eco-friendly. Basically, I think as architects we need to understand our land, we need to understand our climate, and it can vary. Even if you take the state of Kerala, Trivandrum would be very different from Palakkad. Kannur will be different from Koilon. So every place is different. I think the only thing we can do is to make architects aware, to make students aware about the local ecology. So that needs to be made part of the syllabus. So once they are sensitive, they themselves can select the right material, can devise the right architecture. I think that knowledge is part of human beings. We don't have to. It's been there. It's been there among our tribals. It's been there among the old communities, traditional communities. It's just that we are losing it somewhere. So I think once we give the right sensitivity, the right awareness to the students, it will automatically come. We don't have fixed formulas, or it's not right to use fixed formulas saying this is the right. Then it becomes like a marketing system. We let everyone choose, let every architect choose, let every student choose, and decide, and let every community choose. I think that needs to be the norm, and that way we can devise local architecture where, of course, global exchanges can happen, and we need to think globally, definitely, but built locally. I think that's the solution for tomorrow. Thank you.